Speaking of our ecosystem and looking at real DeFi, PulseChain, we'll check some of the prices there right now. Again, it's been an insane week of gains. Now we are seeing a bit of a pullback right now. Some people are assigning the narrative of like, oh yeah, there was a response by the SEC to the motion to dismiss that was filed by Richard's attorneys or whatever. I mean, we were going to see a correction here at some point. Like we just had an insane run up over the last week. It only makes sense that there was going to be a little bit of a pullback at the very least. So what we're seeing right now is Pulse is, man, I keep getting ready to say the discount of the SAC rate. We don't have to say that anymore. So over SAC rate. So it 30117 right now. Pulse X right now, it pulled back the most here over the last couple of hours, also because it ran up so much, but it's still at about 68% down from SAC rate, but it has been up to half off of SAC rate here over the last couple of days. And then the combined hexes, we are sitting at about 2.7, 2.8 cents. It's been up over 3 cents over the last couple of days. So yeah, what do you make of this pullback? I mean, again, I know people are going to assign some kind of news to it, but regardless of any kind of news, I think we were going to see something like this, at some point. So what do you make of that, Ewok? And whichever chart you want to start with, if you want to look at just Pulse, whatever you want to start with here. So you're muted, or I can't hear you anyway.
Yeah, I was muted. Sorry about that. I had the deck screener up there, but we're going to use the Go Pulse for now.
Sure.
Till we get into some of the other stuff. Now, if you look at this, though, I mean, if you look at the weekly, we're still up 37% on Pulse. Right. We're still up 58% Pulse X. And overall, well, anyway, Hex is 9.7%, but the biggest one is incentive token, strangely enough, and then if you pull out to the 30-day chart, these are all, most of them, well, a couple of them are triple digit. You're looking at almost 100% for Pulse, and you're looking at 223% for incentive. So
right,
pretty crazy. I think I think what we can make of that is maybe priming that up a little bit to incentivize people to add some liquidity, play around with the farms, get it going, nice and juicy returns. I think people are starting to hold it, and I think those who just dumped it the whole time are going to be kicking themselves. And it's hard. It's now, I did have some that I switched into other things, so I didn't just necessarily dump it. But I did use it for some good opportunities to DCA into some of the things that I wanted. So, but overall, yeah, you nailed it. It is definitely healthy. We're going to look at the Pulse chart here, and we'll go with the daily candle. But yeah, I mean, it is looking good. You've got a couple different levels here that are even above. So, you go 3 zeros, 1 0 2 maybe. If we can hold above that level, that's a good support. Chop around even just a little bit. But I really don't think it will take too much. I think some of this is the news of the reply. Well, it's not going to get dismissed. Well, that's not official yet. All that was the SEC's reply to the judge. The judge still gets the final say whether this continues or if they've made enough of a case to drop it. So I think this is just kind of a knee-jerk reaction to that a little bit.
Well, plus, if it is, people must not even realize that the thing that was filed by Richard's attorneys wasn't even the actual motion to dismiss. So that wasn't even something that was going to happen right now.
Right.
Anyway. So.
Yep. There's a lot of speculation out there regarding it. We're not lawyers. If you really want to get the best information, I still suggest Nuclear Herbs is the one to follow to get your information from. He seems like he's pretty much been the most level-headed about all of it. So
yeah, he's the man.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's healthy. I think it looks good. I think we're, again, you only want to run so much before you get a little bit of a correction. We'll see how this plays out here because, when it ran up and we got up to like the 4 zeros and an 8, before we chopped the head off of that last zero, there were 2 daily candles of pullback. and then we took off again. So let's see, this will be our second daily candle. And if we get another, well, I could see one more before it goes green again, but 2 or 3 candles is usually sufficient on a run. Now, with these percentages, though, you don't want to get too far too fast, because then there's not a whole lot to stop it when it does decide to come back down. So, that's the big reason why we do want some healthy pullbacks, is so that it does have a little bit of resistance to go through at certain levels. So just my take on it. I
agree. It's healthy and normal. Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see.